Hi, it's nice to see you today and welcome to our podcast, I Stand Corrected. We are your host, Tarpon Total Healthcare. We are a chiropractic office in Tarpon Springs, Florida, and our mission is to relieve pain without drugs and surgery, and to provide you spinal adjustments that you can trust. My name is Angel Camanzuli, and I'm the patient liaison for the office. And today I am so happy to have Robyn Liska with Habitat for Humanity on our show today. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank
Wonderful.
you, Angel. It's my privilege to be here today. I've heard all kinds of great things about this podcast, and so I am super honored to be here and talking to you about Habitat for Humanity
Thank you.
What we're doing in the community.
We absolutely love what you're doing in the community, so it made perfect sense to have you on as a guest. You've got some big things that are happening, a recent change that was excited to hear about. So let's get into all the stuff. I have your bio, which is a really good bio, and if I were to go through it, people would just be like, well, I'm just going to stop because she's done so much.
No. No, there's still a lot to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's very true. But you've done things from being a makeup artist professionally. You've worked for other nonprofits, and so now you're with us. So how did you land at Habitat?
Well, a funny story, as I have connected to several, not only places, but people and some of my best friends through the Rotary Club of Holiday, actually. Habitat for Humanity came to speak about a year and a half ago at our Rotary Club. And I really was not as familiar with Habitat for Humanity as I thought.
Right.
And so that day I learned so much about what's going on worldwide, really. Habitat for Humanity is an international organization, just like Rotary. And so a lot of our mission goals and visions aligned. I've been a member of Rotary for almost 15 years, and I really got started with Rotary so that I could give back to the community like I was talking to other people about giving back as volunteering for a nonprofit. So fast forward to this presentation, and I found out they were looking for someone in the area to help them grow their footprint, because Habitat affiliates are all individually operated.
Okay.
So even though we're an international organization, our footprint is a little different demographically, no matter where you are.
That's very true.
And while we do have national standards that we all abide by, like logos and things like that, sure, we also have the ability to be directed and led by a leadership team individually who really make things happen based on the demographics of the community. You know, we're a home builder. Right. We're actually one of the top ranked home builders in Tampa Bay.
That's awesome.
And we just happen to be a nonprofit, is what I like to say.
Yeah.
So our affiliate builds about 70 to 75 homes a year, which makes us, as of last year, the #1 habitat in the United States.
Wow.
So all of those things really attracted me. And honestly, when the presentation was over, I went to Sean King, who was giving the presentation. He is our Vice President of Government Relations. And I said, how can I help you? I've been in this community for over 30 years. I've worked in nonprofit, and I know a lot of people. So maybe I can help you find what you're looking for. Can you send me a job description? And
And it was you.
That's how it went. I met with Mike Sutton, our president and CEO, and was honored to be considered as a candidate for the position. And I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and really helping to integrate West Pasco County into the Pinellas affiliate that was already there.
Right.
So we merged in 2019, right before COVID. And we all know what happened to the ability to market and communicate and get the word out about what we were doing.
Yeah, it was hard.
And so really that for the past 18 months has been my goal, has been to make sure that people in the West Pasco community knew exactly what our Habitat affiliate was doing and how many people we were helping. Today, I am shifting into a little bit different role with Habitat, and I'm super excited to be leading all of the fundraising events across both counties now.
Wow.
And so I think it's going to continue to help grow the people that we serve. Obviously, year over year, we want to serve more people.
Right.
And because of that, we just completed in March our 800th home as an affiliate.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And now 800 homes in the span of what's the time frame?
The time frame is with this leadership in place with Mike Sutton has been almost 9 years.
That's incredible.
Now those are new home builds. We have also had several homes that we have touched and retouched, and so we're right around 1,015 now. Total homes that we have been able to either rehab, which we don't do a lot of. We really are, our space is really that single family home, built from the slab up. So
so you just kind of wrapped two of them, because I was very excited about your new role. I felt like, though, because I've known you for a couple of years now, you have always had your hands in that. So
Absolutely.
you at least assisted with it.
Absolutely, yeah. My history in nonprofit has all pretty much been development driven, working with communities and working with the donors and really cultivating all those relationships for the organization that I was with. So
that makes me want to ask all kinds of other questions that y'all might not be ready to unveil yet. What is your goal for the next year? Do you have a set goal for how many houses you're hoping to?
We are ending our fiscal year June 30th, and we will complete, I believe, 75 homes as of the end of June 30th for the fiscal year, and then we will start all over again, and we will bump that up to close to 80. As it relates to how many homes and how many individuals and families that we're going to serve in the community. That being said, I think we all know what's been going on in the economy, and with the rising costs of building a home, means we got to raise some more money.
Yeah. Copious amounts.
Yes.
I heard earlier today a gentleman who's a realtor actually said that the current numbers for the people that are moving into the state of Florida is 1,800 per day.
Yes.
We're going to fall into the ocean.
Well, we are an island, but I think we're going to continue to float. So,
gosh,
that's the good
1,800
news.
people a day is that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And not everybody does come into the state, prepared to move into a condominium,
Right.
Or they're just not set up exactly for life as they knew it, say in Nebraska or Ohio or whatever. And so this is such a fantastic option, for anybody that's in that space where they don't qualify over here, but they can qualify through you.
Yeah, quite possibly. And I think, the message that we want to get out is that, if you need some more information, we have great resources to get you started. Going to our website at habitatpwp.org is step one.
Yeah.
And really read through that application process and how you might qualify. Answer a few questions, and then somebody's going to pick up the phone and give you a call.
Right.
And we'll try to get that process started with you. We in order to build this many homes, we have to have a pipeline of homeowner candidates always. And so again, part of getting the word out and creating some great ambassadors in the community. I'm one person, we're a mighty staff as far as mission-driven dedication, but we can't do it alone. So we really need those ambassadors, and we need those volunteers out there talking about Habitat and sharing the opportunities that people can take advantage of.
Now, I have some personal knowledge myself. I have a family member that is my daughter. Actually, she built her own home when she was pregnant with her little girl, my first grandbaby.
That's so
They're
great.
the best. And so that's the only home that my granddaughter has known, which is such a sweet, sweet thing. But so I remember the process that my daughter went through, and now that was way pre-COVID, because Skylar's like, she's 8. And so I was so impressed with, like, we had plans for dinner. She had to cancel with me one night, and I was like, what is going on? You keep rescheduling our mommy-daughter dates. What's going on? And she said, I have a homeowners class, and I can't miss this. And so fast forward, it wasn't long ago, and so she's been in her home for 8 years. And there was a problem with her plumbing. And I was like, man, I know that kid has shoved something down the toilet or whatever. And so I don't know, I'm not, I don't have all of the connections up in Citrus County like I do down here. And so it's like, gosh, who do I know? Who do I know that knows somebody up in Citrus County? And so I said, what are you doing? And she says, I'm going through my homeowner's manual. Right. And I said, what? I don't know anybody else. I have bought and sold 3 times myself. I am, when I sat down with her and she was going through the education that she was provided as a new homeowner, it was a requirement. Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm not a good homeowner. So she is so much more advanced as far as to know what to do. Yeah, we really, really take pride in the fact that this program sets the homeowner candidate up for success in so 100%. Many ways. Those classes that are a requirement to complete the program and really are considered part of their sweat equity, right, are invaluable. We hear it all the time. Our homeowner candidates complete the program, and you ask them, what is the best thing that came of this? Obviously, you have the keys to a brand new home. Right. But the answers are almost always driven back to those homeowner candidate classes that prepare them to become sustainable homeowners, right, to become good neighbors, to figure out how to, mow your lawn and keep aesthetically it looking great, right, which, by the way, also inspires their neighbors to do the same thing. True. We see that more than not. We can't always build houses beside each other and make it, an entire street full of habitat homes. But what we can do is inspire some pride in what's going on around the community. And honestly, that really starts with the homeowner candidate. And it starts with their buy-in on, being an integral part of getting from the start line to the finish line. So in these classes you had talked about, like, again, you don't think about it until it's brought up as a topic. And then when you think about it, it almost kind of makes you feel, I don't want to say dumb, but for lack of a better word, dumb. Mowing your yard. Yeah. How to be a good neighbor. Yeah. My goodness. And, so many people that, are in the category that we are talking to and looking for, a lot of them have never grown up in an environment where they took pride in homeownership. True. They are probably coming from generations that did not own a home, that maybe were living in apartments or they were living in someone else's home. And bottom line is, until it's yours, you really don't understand what that means. Until you take it on. And when you're the one making those mortgage payments and making, an impact personally, working hard and making sure that you're leaving a legacy for your family and for those kids. And then, it's a little bit hard for some people to understand. But truly, our homeowner candidates are getting all those education pieces along the way. Right. And they're taking that with them. And they're staying in the homes for 30 to 40 years or until they pay the mortgage off, which honestly is a lot less time than you think. Oh my goodness. Some of them are learning how to do that financially through the classes and learning how to pay those mortgages off a lot quicker. So I went to my daughter's house after she had moved in. This was such a delight as a parent. And it was one that I'd heard other people talk about that had, kids that were older than mine. It never registered with me until I stepped in the door, I put down my purse, and Sarah said, I need you to take off your shoes. I Because how many times did I threaten their lives
for wearing the shoes?
So take your shoes off. So I went into the bathroom, washed my hands, came out of the bathroom, and hadn't flipped the light off. And she said, "Mom, what is going on with you? Do you not know how to turn lights off?"
Yeah.
I laughed so hard that night.
She's definitely taking heed on all the things that she was taught. Mm-hmm. And again, some of it is taught from generations of family, and other things just are not. And I think those of us who had it, we take it for granted sometimes.
Very much so.
And it's really nice to hear our homeowner, walk away with a lot of those really great lessons learned along the way. It's not an easy program. It's 12 to 18 months on the average.
Right.
But a lot of that time is that prep time. It's getting them to the point of, candidate acceptance. Right. And then they start those sweat equity hours. They start the classes. And the sweat equity hours, let me just tell you, we're in Florida, okay? I have laid sod in July. It's not something that you take lightly after you've done it.
Yeah.
Glad I did it. Don't want to do it again. But, our volunteers come out. They work alongside the homeowner candidates. The homeowner candidates get to bring friends and family and all kinds of their kids, to come on site and help. And it's one of the most rewarding things that you'll do, to just roll up your sleeves and swing a hammer with Habitat.
Right. Now, and there's a number of, we've talked about some things in the past. There's some groups that you have formed, like just to get some more community involvement, specifically with business owners. Yep. One of them we talked about was Hammer and Heels.
Yeah, and that is really what feeds into what we call our women's build. And so our women's build is really just a group of ladies that wanted to get involved.
Right.
And so we have worked on this for a few years. We're actually tweaking it a little bit right now. Right. And it's going to be very exciting. I think we will see more and more, not just female business owners, but leaders in the community, mothers and daughters coming out to support one or two homes annually. They do a little bit of fundraising or, make a donation, and then they get to come out and swing a hammer and meet the family and really feel impactful for that family in the community. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope we get that rocking and rolling for 2024. We just are getting ready to have the dedication for the 2023 Women's Build coming up in June. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. So you had invited me to a breakfast, and this was probably a year and a half ago at this point.
Yeah, close to a year. Yeah, it was in March.
Okay, so a
year ago.
And it was a young lady that had just recently gotten into her first home. Not only was it her first home, but it was the first home. Like, her mom didn't have her own home, and I don't think her grandmother did either. So there was some breaking of generational cycles, and so she was a single mom, doing 3 or 4 children. Yeah. The most beautiful story, and the gratitude that she. There were a lot of people that cried in the room. I'm a crier, so it was definitely me. I might have started that train.
Yeah, we tell people all the time. Some of those events that we do in the community, like our Community Builder Society breakfast, those are really great educational pieces, as well as giving people the opportunity to donate. People give their time, they give their talent, and some can give their treasure. Yeah. And all of it really makes an impact in our community and how many people we can help. So we do have 3 of those events that happen across both counties annually. We just had one right here in West Pasco County. Our Community Builder Society breakfast happened a couple of weeks ago, and we had a packed room. And hopefully, again, a lot of those people will continue to stay involved with us for the future.
Right. So what can a business owner say, a plumber or heating and air or an electrical contractor, can a business come in and, how does that work?
Yeah, we actually, as I mentioned before, are one of the top ranked home builders in Tampa Bay. We can't do that alone, and we can't do it just with volunteers.
Right.
So we do work with contractors throughout both counties who sometimes bid jobs with us. We do have in-house construction team and supervisors that work on the homes regularly, but there are certain things that we look to contractors to help us with. And so it's a pretty simple process. We just connect them with our construction department, and then they are led through a bid process on, either one, two, or multiple homes throughout the year. So yeah, there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity for them to donate some time, come out and swing a hammer just like everybody else.
Right.
We have multiple partnerships throughout the communities that have grown into donation relationships. HVAC companies can donate, a full system.
Right.
Roofing companies sometimes will donate the roof. Solar companies have donated solar, which reduces the cost for the homeowner to almost nothing as it relates to power consumption. And so there are multiple ways that people can get involved, and just, contact me, contact us, and find out what that process is.
On your website.
Yep, on our
Best place,
website.
okay.
I think our local phone number is going to be posted here today. We do have a administrative office in Clearwater. You can call that number. I work pretty much out and about in the community, but I do have some office space at our Restore. You mentioned that, and I want to talk a little bit about the Restore
Absolutely.
as well. And we're all accessible and are happy to take your call.
I love the Restore personally. I'm a DIYer, so I get a lot of things from in there. And there's multiples. There's a big one over in Zephyr Hills, but y'all just opened one last year.
Yep, a year ago this month, actually.
Gosh, the year's flown.
It has flown by. So we grand opened the Restore right off of US 19.
Yep.
If you're in the Newport Richey area and you drive up and down US 19, you can't miss Harbor Freight and the Wing House.
Oh, yeah.
And we are right there in that plaza, about 15,000 square feet of resale shop, and we take multiple donations of home improvement items.
Right.
Everything from doors and windows, flooring, appliances. If you can refurbish your home with it, we'll pretty much take it. But we do have a list on our website of everything we take and everything we don't. So please go on there first and read that list, and then the application, you can actually schedule a free pickup. We do have full-time delivery pickup drivers.
That's awesome.
In both counties, and so we're happy to schedule a free pickup. We also work with some third-party vendors and services that can pick up sometimes quicker if it's a need that has to happen with a couple of day turnaround.
Right. I have actually saved that contact information. I get, because
Awesome.
we collect clothing.
Yes.
And support a local charity. And so I've had a lot of people, it's like, I have a couch.
Yes.
Well, I can't fit it in a Volvo.
Right.
I saved that. You sent me a really good text that
Great.
gave a good description on what, and where to go and schedule it and stuff. So I share that one frequently,
Awesome.
at least once a month.
And we do encourage that you send a few pictures too. It helps us to make that scheduling seamless,
Right.
And making sure that we know how many items we're picking up, and all the information can be found, as I said, on our website, habitatpwp.org, under donate. Yes.
My last question, and it's probably the one that I'm the most intrigued by. In your time with Habitat, and obviously, I wouldn't ever ask you to say a name. I wouldn't know them anyway. But a family that touched you the most, like the circumstances surrounding that person getting into their first home.
That is so easy.
Okay.
It actually just happened. We did an exercise internally the other day as a leadership team, and Mike asked us to name the home number that we were on when we started.
Oh.
And so my number is 715. So I fast forward today, we've built almost 1,000 and what did I say? Or new home builds.
Yeah.
817 maybe now. So that's how many houses I've seen dedicated.
That's awesome.
But a few months ago, we did a a group acceptance at one of our board meetings. And so the board got to be present. We accepted several families into the program. And there was a young woman and her daughter. And this little girl had the cutest little dress on, but she was super proud of her pink sparkly shoes. And she kept looking at me and looking down at her shoes, and I had my phone in my hand, so I snapped a quick picture of her and her mom because they had just been told that they were going to be accepted into the program. So I stood there to talk to her mother for just a few minutes, and the tears were running down her face. And I put my arm around her and I said, "We are so proud of you, and I know you should be so proud of yourself for, getting this accomplished. It's not easy." And she said, "You have no idea." She said, "I've been trying to get to this point for 3 years, and I was homeless living in my car, and my baby was just a couple of months old, and this little girl." So fast forward, this past week on Friday, we dedicated her house and handed her the keys to her new home. And it was, for me, one of the highlights probably of my career so far. And that's not her. The picture that's up there, that's our 800th home owner.
Right.
And that was a really great story as well. But this one is still fresh in my mind because I got to watch the entire process.
That's amazing.
And that young woman is a fighter. And she's a survivor, and she is really, truly breaking the poverty cycle for that young daughter of hers.
I am so glad that you were able to be on here with us today. You guys, Robyn Liska is the lady that you're going to want to know in Habitat for Humanity here in West Pasco and North Pinellas. The organization is a powerful option for folks that don't necessarily they don't qualify for traditional lending. So reach out to them. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank Area 52 Media Group for putting on our podcast. And thank you again. I stand corrected, and we'll see you next week.